that intro thing. We back. We back, baby.
Eureka.
Woo!
We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day.
Chi-Town to the Bay on this one.
Plays every day, yeah. We make plays every day, yeah.
Smokey and Bogey on this one.
Plays every day, yeah. We make
Hey,
plays every day, yeah.
hey. Welcome to the Real Fantasy Playmakers. I am your host, Bogart Scott Free. And man, I ain't never been so excited to welcome back a reoccurring guest that, man, always in high demand, always a great episode, always 100% across the board value. He's the fantasy fornicator himself, host of Bears, Brews, and Bros podcast. Is my man, Smoking Jay.
Hey, what's going on, my people? What's going on, Bogey? Appreciate you having me on once again. What's good, everybody?
Man, you know what's crazy is I'm over here going crazy, hella missing the Jamaican horns button when I was doing the intro. I'm like, what? And I'm like, just stay there. I'm just like, stay the course. Stay the course. Now you all want to wake up, Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? All right, so check this out, man. Welcome back, my brother. You know what I mean? We're going to go ahead and handle this housekeeping. And as soon as we get through this housekeeping, we're going to get to this positional rankings. And we are specifying today at the running back position and the wide receiver position. And, you know, if we got some time, we'll go ahead and throw a little bit of honorable mentions at tight end and QB. You know what I'm saying? As far as late round acquisitions, you know what I mean? Some value picks. But we're going to really deep dive into these top 24s, you know what I'm saying, at running back and receiver. But yeah, before we get to that, go ahead, follow me at Bogard Scott Free World on IG. Also follow me at the GMM Network on IG and Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Also want to make an announcement that you can find us now on all streaming platforms. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I was a little late to the party, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, I'm Filipino. We late as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And also, check us out at rumboys.com. Shout out to the whole gang. You know what I'm saying? We dumping some of the latest and greatest articles. You know what I'm saying? We covering all sports. You know what I mean? Shout out to all our writers, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rumboy Robbie too. We on a little bit of a hiatus as far as our visual content because, you know, my man's out there leading the revolution. We will be back sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, at the end of the day, all this shit is meaningless when it comes to that real fight that he's actually out there handling. You know what I'm saying? And really trying to make some real change out here. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, being a black man in America is already difficult enough that, you know what I'm saying, and he's out here spearheading the revolution, man. My hat's off to you, my brother. Much love. You know what I'm saying? You got us in your corner and all our support. Also, shout out to our Rum Boys official sponsor, Monkey Knife Fight. Go ahead, monkeyknifefight.com. When you set up an account, we will match your first deposit all the way up to $50. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, drop that 50. Don't be a broke boy. Go drop that 50. Get you 100. You know what I mean? Get you that hundo. We got all kind of DFS action coming, props, all that shit, man. You don't want to miss it. UFC's about to go crazy you know what I'm saying, this July. You know, we got the big three coming back. Well, maybe not the big three, maybe not baseball, but you know what, though? We're going to speak it all into existence. You know what I'm saying? Laws of attraction, you know what I mean? Sports is coming back. Hey, you don't want to miss this. monkeyknifefight.com, promo code RUMBOYS, all capitals. We'll match your first deposit all the way up to $50. Also, last but not least, shout out to our sponsor, Milk and Honey TX, for all your CBD wellness and all your CBD goodness. Go ahead, visit milkandhoneytx.com. Yo, Smokey, let them know where they can find you and all that fornicating content. You know what I'm talking about?
For sure, bro. Yeah, you guys can find me, Fantasy Fornicator, on Instagram, on Twitter, FF Fornicator. And also my podcast, check us out on Instagram, Bears, Brews, and the Bros. That's with a D, the Bros. So check us out. That's where we at.
Bros. Oh, we got
Yes, sir.
Oh, all you motherfuckers that don't know about the Bros, fuck your life. We booing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Had to let them know one time. Because they ain't know about the Bros. Oh, you know what? You want to know about the Bros? Fuck your life. You know what I'm saying? Duh, Bros. Yeah. Let's get it. Okay, my brother. You want to pop this thing off?
Yeah, man. We're gonna kick it off, right, with the running backs. We're gonna break it down in tiers, I guess you could say, 6 at a time. And let me kick it off with my first 6. I got CMC. It's hard to go against McCaffrey. Sometimes people want to overthink it. Don't overthink it too much, man.
They saying Saquon and shit. Okay,
they're saying they're saying Saquon, and I'm not mad at it. But at the end of the day, CMC is that dude in that offense. We see what he's done already. It's already proven. Barkley has some injury concerns, obviously, but don't get me wrong. If people want to take him number 1, I'm not going to argue with you too much. I just prefer CMC at 1.
I would, if I'm sitting at number 2, Playmakers, and I'm talking all, and you sitting at number 1, I'm talking all kind of Saquon up, so you can go ahead and get him, and I can get the unicorn, the white running back, CMC at number 2.
Hey, man, that's a smart way to go at it. Hell yeah. Hype up Saquon and let CMC fall to you.
Yeah.
First off, our first 2 are the same. We got CMC and Saquon. At number 3, we start having a little bit of a difference. I got Kamara at number 3. I really, really like the outlook for him coming into this year. A lot of people forget, he had a down year last year, but he will bounce back. So weeks 1 through 5, he led all the running backs in evaded tackles. After his ankle sprain, the rest of the games, the rest of the year, he finished as running back 40 in elusiveness. So that tells me he played a whole year, as we know, injured. He wasn't himself.
Yeah.
So if you think, before the injury, he was getting 20 touches per game. After his injury, he was getting 16. So when he was playing the rest of the year, he was losing 4 touches per game. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you multiply it times 9, which is the games he injured, that's 28 touches. That's almost 2 full games. Or excuse me, that's my bad. That's 36 touches. That's almost 2 full games right there, bro. In efficiency that you missed. Plus, he was injured. So I think the sky is up for Kamara. I think he's going to bounce back. I got him locked in at my number 3. Do you got anything to say about Kamara at 3 for me?
When you started talking all that elusive shit, I started realizing, he came back off that injury more elusive than ever. He was like, listen, I ain't nobody touching me. I ain't getting hurt again. He was like, you feel me? No, but you know what, dog? I will say this off air, actually throughout the week, because I talk to you pretty frequently, you know what I mean? And I was like, remember, I was totally arguing with, Kamara over Chubb. And then my love for Chubb kind of bumped him up. I have a case to make, but I also will say, once I get to my list or my first top 6, that Zeke, I tend to not disagree with you. Like I can make that case along with you with Kamara over Zeke, because I am on the side that McCarthy, we might see a drop in production from Zeke.
Yep.
Because and we might even see that line morph into more of a pass protecting line versus being like run blocking specialists. You know what I mean?
True. I see that too with Zeke. I have him falling a little bit at number 4. I do have Dalvin Cook. I am a big Dalvin Cook supporter. I'm not worried about his contract. If anything, it makes all the sense in the world. A lot of people that hate Dalvin Cook, they're jumping all over it. You guys need to sit the fuck back and shut the fuck up. Listen real quick. Dalvin Cook is making just over $1 million this year. The Minnesota Vikings have just over $12 million in salary cap this year. And what is Dalvin Cook asking for? He's asking for $13 million. He's a smart motherfucker.
Yeah.
You ask for your money when you know your team can afford it. And he's not even asking to be paid CMC level type shit. He's coming in reasonable. He's like, let me see what you guys are at. Oh, you know what? You guys could afford $13 million. This is what I'm asking for. Bro, that's fucking genius. He's going to get paid. Everybody hating on him, go fucking choke on a big one. Yeah. Get off fucking Dalvin Cook's dick, bro. Straight up.
You know what? Those people that are hating on Dalvin Cook sound like the people that don't know about the Bros. We're going to boo them. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, y'all don't know about Bears, Brews, and the Bros, and you hating on Cook? Fuck y'all. You know what I mean?
we'll run with that. We'll take that all day. Let's go.
Yeah.
At number five, you brought him up. It's Zeke. Zeke the Freak. I think he's safe though, man. Don't get me wrong. Just because I have him at number 5 doesn't mean I don't like him. He's a safe pick. We know it's a new offense. There's a little bit of question marks there, but Zeke is gonna come through for you guys. Number 6 though. This is where I'm pretty sure this is going to be a bigger discrepancy. I got Kenyon Drake at number 6, man. And
you're gangster that one.
This is, and we spoke about it right before the show. When I'm looking at these rankings, I'm kind of looking at it with a little bit of a twist as far as like a projection as well.
Yeah. This is not necessarily how we're drafting them off the board in this order, Playmakers. Just to preference this, like, it's a mixture of projections and, rankings. But this is, ultimately when we're talking about Drake right here, where my man the Fornicator has him at number 6, my guy Smokey J has him at 6, because that's where he feels his ceiling could be when he finishes is at 6 overall, top 8. I'm not mad at that because we know the talent, we know him as a pass catcher. I mean, 50 balls last season. Granted, it's a mashup with his time with the Dolphins as well, but still, him as a talent. Yes, and granted, he wasn't too many receiving touchdowns by any means. I think he had 0.
Mm-hmm.
But
0, yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't fucking matter because that's going to come with the territory when you have a rushing quarterback like Kyler Murray. He might even snake a few touchdowns at the goal line or in the 10 zone, or red zone and 10 zone from Drake. But and mind you, and I know you're projecting this if Drake is healthy for a full season. And bro, Drake is one of the more elusive running backs in his career. And he always ran behind a bad line. You know what I mean? Even with his time in Miami, and then even with his time with Arizona last year with a bad line. This time around, they brought in some guys in free agency. They addressed it in the draft. Yo, Drake, and then you add Nuke Skywalker, who's gonna take the top off, and you also add Christian Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Larry Fitzgerald. You have all these threats everywhere. Then the wheels on goddamn Kyler Wren. You know what I'm saying? Kyler Wren got wheels too. So there's going to be, what are you going to do? You're going to double cover Nuke, you know what I'm saying? Or you're going to put a spy on Kyler Wren. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly, bro.
And then Kenyon Drake's going to be running free.
Bro, another thing about him. So last year he played 8 games with the Cardinals after the trade. Yeah. He averaged 20 touches per game in those games, which is crazy because if you really think about it, on a football aspect type of thing,
it's a lot of touches, bro.
It's a lot of touches for somebody that didn't know the playbook yet. He didn't have a full grasp of the playbook. He didn't even understand the system.
A solid point.
Properly. You know what I'm saying? So everybody talks about second-year quarterbacks, how they make that big jump. You know what I'm saying? This is going to happen with Kyler Murray. This is what's going to happen with that offense. So Kenyon Drake, I feel like, was even limited in his touches and his snap share. I think that's only going to go up. He was a running back 4 in PPR since the trade to Arizona.
You're talking that ism, bro. You're talking that ism. I might gotta bump him up after this show. You're making very valid points, bro. How about this too? I want to say this. I was in Hawaii last year when the trade happened. And then we were playing. My Niners were playing Arizona on a Thursday night. I was in a bar in Hawaii, and I remember during that day, during that waiver, I got to Hawaii that Monday. So that Tuesday was the waivers. I had an opportunity to swoop up Kenyon Drake in a handful of leagues because people were so upset with him that he was floating around on the waiver. Bro, I curved him on purpose because I was I was treating him like a landmine. He's gonna play against the Niners. And then, bro, he was picked up against me in multiple leagues and started against me. So I'm in Hawaii, in paradise, watching this motherfucker tear up my Niners. And I remember I had George Kittle in a couple spots where it was he went down for a majority of that game. He came back with a vengeance, but it was looking really bad for me on a Thursday. And I was just like, fuck, watching Kenyon Drake just stop him. Stop him.
Bro, it was 162 total yards and a tutty in his debut with the Cardinals against your Niners.
And being with them for 4 days.
Crazy. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand is that he didn't even have the grasp of the playbook yet. He wasn't playing all the snaps. None of that shit. And a lot of people want to tell me, hey, he scored 4 touchdowns in one game. That inflates his numbers.
Yeah, because he only had 8.
He scored a total of 8 touchdowns in those 8 games. And if you want to say, oh yeah, he's 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, well,
that's,
if
you
you
know,
put the
out of the norm.
average, you put the average. That's
But-
a touchdown a game, so that's still good for me. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, it lets you know the capabilities of what this guy can do in an offense that he still didn't even know the playbook yet. He still can go out there and score 4 touchdowns. I think the sky's the limit for Kenyon Drake. He really, really has top 5
And
upside
he was
for
so
me.
happy to sign that goddamn franchise tag. He was like, "Hell yeah!"
Oh yeah,
Matter of
he's getting
fact,
paid now.
I think he even he's going to be one of those guys rooting for Dalvin Cook to get his bag because that's only going to bump the average up a little higher, and you know what I mean? Because that's what the franchise tag gets. They get the average of the top paid at their position.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I mean?
a great point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. You ready for the madness? Playmakers.
Let's go.
The playmakers are very aware of my madness, but you know what I'm saying? You know, Smokey brings balance to the show. He brings balance to the force. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I got my man, the unicorn. I call him the unicorn because you barely see them, almost never. You never see them. The white running back. CMC. Boom. He tops the list. Then we go with Saquon. You know what I'm saying? Barclay. You know what I'm saying? You got to say it like it's French. You know what I'm talking about? Then I got Cook. Because I'm not afraid of the goddamn holdout. Like my man Smokey made all those valid points about the type of cap space they have to pay the guy. Plus Minnesota, they historically take care of their guys. And if anyone's worried, like people can make a case, well, if he holds out, historically running backs that hold out, when they come back and they miss camp and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, everybody is fucked right now. Everybody in Corona better have been conditioning. Everybody, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell
Like
yeah.
everybody. So if no one can make that argument with me if anyone holding out. Basically, everybody been holding out then. How about that?
Pay that fucking man. Pay that fucking
Play
man.
that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Then I got Zeke. You know what I'm saying? I could make an argument. I do like your argument with Kamara over Zeke. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I say this because, goddamn, Zeke. You know what I'm saying? In a quote unquote down year last year, right? In a quote unquote down year where he didn't even, he missed cap everything. He was kind of holding out. You know, he got 1,300 yards still on the ground. So it's like, you can't really be mad at that. You know, his receptions. I think what he still have 50 receptions, caught 50 balls.
Yeah, 54.
Still a fucking ton of receptions. You know what I mean? I do worry about McCarthy coming in. There's a lot of more options. The reason I have him, and I'll get to this, why I have him over Alvin Kamara, even like 2 spots higher, is with the addition of Manny Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And there's still, and I like to call Alvin and the Chipmunks. He still has a chipmunk there. You know what I mean? He still has a band member with Latavius Murray. Granted, he gets more goal line carries. And like it's just one of those things, man. Like, and then also I will say this, man. The more and more they're gonna be using Taysom Hill, he be in those red zone packages too, man. Snaking some of those goddamn goal line carries. We've seen it. He hasn't hit pay dirt as much, but they give him a crack at it. You know what I mean? So, anyways.
Oh yeah, you're right.
After Zeke, we got goddamn my man Nick Chubb, and everybody knows how I feel about Chubb. 1494 on the ground last year. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's talking about hunt this, hunt that. I would say they got Kevin Stefanski over there. I would say,
Yes, sir.
I would say they brought in Jack Conklin in free agency. I would say that they drafted Jedrick Wills in the draft. So now you got 2 athletic motherfuckers to bust that second level open in this zone run scheme that's going to be heavily enforced with Kevin Stefanski there. And here's the thing with Chubb. Chubb was in an offense last year that was 19th overall in rush attempts. Bro, the Minnesota Vikings with Stefanski last year, they were top of the league at rush attempts. You know what I mean? Mind you, I'm trying to use fantasy math to my best ability. Also,
Sounds good.
to mask the fact that I just love me some Nick Chubb. He's one of those guys coming out of college, I was so correct about him. And then it's like, now his situation just got better. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not worried about Hunt, like I said, because Hunt is going to be flex worthy. I just feel like if I have Nick Chubb, the only downside of having him is that I'm going to actively have to get a second Browns running back in the top 10 rounds, or in this case, top 6 rounds, because he is like a 6th rounder right now. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not, and more than likely, every time I'm doing these mock drafts, I don't even end up with Hunt because someone else grabs him because they know his value. And here's the thing, people will say, hey, yo, Bogey, you crazy. I would say, you're fucking goddamn right. But when it comes to Nick Chubb, I'm not afraid of Kareem Hunt because I could look at Nick Chubb And I mean, Nick Chubb, I can look at Cook and Madison last year, where Cook was still averaging like, what, 20 touches a game? Can you help me out here, Smokey? He was averaging like 20 touches a game, right?
Dalvin Cook, well, he had a total of 313 touches by the end of the year, and everybody remember 14 games is what he played.
313 divided by 14. So about 22.2 touches per game. So I was in the ballpark. You know, Alexander Madison, he averaged about 8 to 10 touches a game because of the high volume of how they use their running backs, and you know, especially on the ground. You know what I mean? And in this case, yes, we're talking PPR. You know, shout out to Spencer the Guru. He was like, I don't really see any difference between Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry this season as far as their usage in the passing game. But I beg to differ because, I mean, like my man Smokey has told me, Derrick Henry's not a route runner. Nick Chubb is. You know what I'm saying? Nick Chubb is. And we're even going to see at times where Nick Chubb and Hunt will be on the field at the same time. Like, it's just, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? They're going to move Hunt around, and they're going to have Chubb, running out the backfield. And just like, bro, with additions to that line, that's why I have Chubb so high. Mind you, Playmakers, I want to emphasize this. I'm drafting Chubb at the back of the first. Because even though right now he tends to fall to the early second round, I'm not allowing that because I don't want to play that. I don't want to play that game and not have him. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I'm in the back of the first round, unless someone like Michael Thomas has got to be there. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where I would really like have to make a decision. Like if some idiots let Michael Thomas fall to like 7th overall and I'm there, bro, man, it's gonna be tough to not pull the trigger on Michael Thomas over like a Nick Chubb because you know what I'm saying? Like, but then I would have to I'd have to hope like some like Mixon or someone drops down to me or even like a Drake, which won't happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna end up with an ugly running back one. You know what I mean? Like, or you know what I mean? So. And I'm perfectly comfortable with Chubb. Now, with all those arguments I made, you know what I'm saying? Now we're going to Alvin and the Chipmunks. I kind of already made my case for Alvin. You know what I mean? But you know what, though? Everything you said, bro, it makes me want to bump him up, like, to number 3, to be honest. But it's just coming off the injury, and then you know, and even, like, I'll tell you this much. Going into last year, they lost Max Ungram. Going into the year, you know, center. He was the center that they got from the Jimmy Graham trade, and like, bro, we were seeing pressure come up the middle. You know what I mean? Like, and like, you know that's exactly how Drew Brees got hurt. That's exactly, you know, we started seeing less efficiency running through, you know, between the tackles. Like, you know, I thought that made a difference. You know what I'm saying? But that's me being nitpicky as fuck. I just feel like because Alvin. He's still going to be second in receptions on that team after Michael Thomas. I struggle to do that. But I feel like, you know, there is going to be like maybe 3 or 4% of his target market share is going to be taken away by Cook, the combination of Jared Cook and Manny Sanders. You know what I mean? I mean, I could see that. I could see that for sure. More Manny Sanders. I mean, Jared Cook to me. He had a great year because, you know, Kamara, him being injured. Yeah, the absence. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, one thing I did want to touch on before we let this go with Kamara, his first 2 years, 31 games, scored 31 touchdowns. Last year in 14 games, scored 6.
Oh, 6, yeah.
Yeah, so a big difference. We all know what the reason was for that, you know, his injury. Yeah. So
and it was a high ankle. So even the fact that he came back off the high ankle was already phenomenal. Like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. And then with the goal line carries, Kamara led the backfield with 7 goal line carries last year versus Latavius Murray's 3. So he is the goal line back, regardless, in my eyes. And I do understand.
And that's including 5 games. Or how many games did he miss?
He missed 2, and then he had the bye week.
And then the bye week. So that's including the 2 games that he missed. So even with his absence, Latavius Murray wasn't even getting it wasn't like he's the automatic goal line back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you know, Taysom Hill's so hard to diagnose, but you know, like they I don't know what's going on with Sean Payton. Maybe the corona will wake him up a little bit, but it's like, you know, they be goddamn using him way too much and just snake, like, he's just there to snake everything from everyone. Whether it's a touchdown reception from Michael Thomas or if it's a touchdown reception from any of the receiving options, or it's a goal line carry, or it's even like a Drew Brees owner hates it when this motherfucker's under center and he's throwing that long bomb and it's not your man Drew Brees if you started him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck you, Taysom Hill.
So annoying, bro. So annoying to have
fuck
Drew
you,
Brees
Taysom
and then
Hill.
see fucking Taysom Hill come in. It's just take, vulture all his points. That's just bullshit. I hate it.
Yeah,
fucking
for real. And maybe maybe my Taysom Hill is way too much to damper down Alvin Kamara, but I'm telling you, playmakers, you know what I'm saying? We us as analysts, and quote unquote, when I talk about myself being an analyst, I definitely reserve the right to change my opinion. And like, it pains me to have Alvin right there. But don't be surprised if he starts to move up on my list. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I mean, number six ain't too bad though. You got him at number 6, so
yeah,
I'm not too mad at that.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Somebody hit me. Gotta ignore that call. Okay. Let's go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We'll keep the seesaw effect going. Go ahead and rock that next 6, B.
All right, next 6 we got Josh Jacobs coming in at number 7 with the Raiders. We just need him to get involved in a passing game because rushing wise, the dude balled out. He's one of the leaders in broken tackles last year. He showed that he could handle a workload, so we just need him to get more involved in the PPR side of things. Next up at number 8, I got Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is that dude.
I love that.
Yes, you guys.
You have the balls to do it. I couldn't even do it.
You guys heard it right, man. I got him at number 8, man. Let's go. Miles Sanders last year had 179 carries, which was the most ever for a Doug Peterson offense.
Yeah,
as
man.
a rookie running back who took over the job after Jordan Howard got hurt. So a lot of people want to bring
treated
up
him like a
Boston
rookie.
Scott.
They treated him like a rookie. They gave him the rookie treatment, even though he was clearly the better talent than Howard. They still treated him because Doug Peterson is old school minded. You know what I mean? Those old school minded coaches, they don't just thrust their guys in there like that. So like the fact that he still got that amount of carries, bro. And matter of fact, you know whose record he beat in a Doug Peterson offense as far as carries?
Who's that?
Darren Sproles, bro.
Darren Sproles,
and that's not
guy.
right. And it's like, bro, that was only because he was just trusting Darren Sproles more than ever. And that was what Doug Peterson's first. I think that was his first crack at it as an Eagles head coach. You know what I mean? It was like that year. You know what I mean?
So yeah, bro, and I like him because look, Doug Peterson, like you said, the rookie treatment, but he was still able to have the most carries ever in a Doug Peterson offense. To me, that stands out big time. He finished number 15 last year in PPR. That's fucking phenomenal for somebody that he had limited touches compared to a lot of these guys. Like, I'm looking at his touches. He had about 220 something, and some people had 220, 250 rushing attempts. That's not including receptions. So Miles Sanders, somebody really high up on my list. Next up, I have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb coming in at number 9. I am a big Chubb fan as well. We all know Freddie Kitchens is a fucking bum. He had no creativity when he was giving him the ball. CMC and Nick Chubb last year had 32 attempts inside the 10-yard line. CMC finished with 10 touchdowns and Chubb with 4. Why? Because there's no fucking creativity. You give Chubb fucking 32 attempts with somebody like a Stefanski inside the 10, you're looking at double-digit touchdowns without a fucking shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
so I love Nick Chubb. You're higher on him, but I could definitely see why. I'm not going to argue with you.
You know I'll be getting high, bro. You know I'll be getting high. Matter of fact, I'm about to light something up right now. Go ahead, continue.
After I run through these last ones, I'm gonna light some shit up real quick too.
Yeah.
Let's go with number 10, Joe Mixon, my main man, Joe Mixon. And
Sir Joe Mixon line.
Yo, the first half of the year, he was putting up bum ass numbers.
He was hurt
because that offensive line and that offensive line was straight hot garbage, bro.
Yeah, it
straight
was.
hot garbage.
It was.
So, what did Joe Mixon do? He turned it up at the second half of the year, learned how to run behind a garbage-ass line. Now you got all these weapons around you. You got Joe Burrow coming in who's going to ease some pressure off you because you're going to have better quarterback play. Mm-hmm. You got your offensive line back intact. Jonah Williams is coming back.
Yep. Cordy Glenn coming back. Yeah, I mean,
bro, so you're gonna be good to go. He's gonna run behind a nice line. I love Joe Mixon at number 10. Number 11, I got Derrick Henry. King Henry, somebody that I personally am fading according to my rankings. I know he led the league in rushing last year, over 1,500.
Yeah, because he had all those goddamn 200-yard outings.
And I know he had 16 touches on the ground, 18 total. Those are crazy numbers. I get it. But with the thing with Derrick Henry is he doesn't really provide anything in a PPR aspect. And to ask somebody to literally carry your team, in back-to-back years, 300 plus touches on the ground, I think that's a lot to ask for. Ryan Tannehill just got paid. They're going to get A.J. Brown, Jonnu Smith, other people involved more to ease off the pressure. And they already came out and said that they're going to do that and not give him as many touches this year. They're going to try to limit his carries. So I'm off of Derrick Henry this year. He's actually one on my bus that I'm going to be talking about in my podcast later on tonight. Let's go with number 12, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers. Yes, I am not that type of Bears fan that's going to hate when it comes to fantasy type of shit. Aaron Jones did crack my top 12s, and it's a lot of things that are undeniable. Somebody getting 19 touchdowns in 1 year, his goal line red zone efficiency is through the roof. You got to go with the guy. They don't have a lot of offense over there, offensive help besides Devontae Adams. So Aaron Jones is another guy that I like. Even though he's got to figure out the whole contract situation, I think they'll figure it out too.
Hey, and you know what, dog? Well. You know what is fun about a contract year is that they'll be willing to run him into the dirt. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I know people's afraid of A.J. Dillon because Matt LaFleur is kind of crazy, and A.J. Dillon comps to goddamn Derrick Henry, and we remember Matt LaFleur with Derrick Henry in Tennessee. So they're like, oh, A.J. Dillon's going to take all the goal lines and this and that. It's like, listen. I'm not too much afraid of it. I actually like it that I can get Aaron Jones in the third round because of all that fuck shit that people are tripping off of. Matter of fact, I'm even start promoting the fuck shit. Matter of fact, I might even talk about Aaron Jones and boo him. Fuck it. To make motherfuckers stay off of him so I could have him. Diabolical. Yes. Yeah. And
that's my 12 right there though.
And man, listen, I just like he said, he's about to talk about bust later on the podcast called Bears, Brews, and the Bros. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't knowing about the Bros, fuck your life. You know what I'm saying? And it's that podcast available on all streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that's known. You feel me? Okay, now let's see here. Okay, let's go back to the madness. Okay, so we over here, I'm going to pop off at number 6. I got Josh Jacobs. Actually, let me sound it out first. Josh Jacobs, Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot. This one annoys me to put Henry there, but I had to. Leonard Fournette, or as I like to call him, Leonard Foreskin. Then I got Aaron Jones, and then I got my man Austin Powers Eckler. Okay, so let me explain this a little bit. I got Josh Jacobs up there because he finally got a year under his belt. People were knocking Josh Jacobs last year. They were like, well, he's never carried a full load in college and blah, blah, blah. And then we seen him. As soon as he carried a full load in the NFL, where it's not college, it's the NFL, he got beat up pretty good. So I'm pretty sure that unless he's a dumbass, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Granted, he was living in a car. He knows how to take opportunity and never take them for granted, right? So I'm pretty sure he's conditioned well, you know what I mean? So he can carry a full load because he already got bit by the injury bug, hit the rookie wall, whatever you want to call it, right? And then you couple that with the fact that John Gruden, Chucky, and even Mike Mayock, these are the guys that, especially when you talk about Chucky's coach speak, it tends to be what he's actually going to do. Like, Chucky isn't a throw-off method type of guy. He'll be like, hey, we got to get him more involved in the passing game, because he's a grinder. You know what I mean? Like, and I tend to believe that shit because he's that arrogant where he says what he's going to do. You know what I mean? And if we can get more receptions, fuck yeah. Even though they got my man, the Rocket Richard, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's still there, that's for hurry-up situations. They're really going to try to emphasize having one back and that they can use in every facet. That way, they could really not be predictable when they get down into this red zone. You know what I'm saying? And I actually have Josh Jacobs there. You know what I'm saying? Next, I got my man Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot because he likes touchdowns and he cannot lie. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And everyone knows, as big as I am on Nick Chubb, I'm the same way with Joe Mixon. My man Smokey J, he already made all the valid points that I would have loved to make, and it's better that he says it first, because Playmakers, you guys already always have to question my madness. My man, the fornicator right here, you don't need to question his shit. That's why I bring him on, because he's sharp as a tack, B. You know what I'm saying? We'll move on to Henry. Henry's the one, man, like, the absence of Jack Conklin's the only reason why, like, I worry about him. And then you couple that with the fact that he's not really going to catch too many balls. And then I wasn't even aware that the coaching staff came out and they said they want to scale him back a little. Because that would make sense. I mean, Jack Conklin, he shined in the zone, when they would run zone blocking schemes. That's when Derrick Henry would get off nasty to that right side. You know what I mean? And like, that's
going to miss him.
He's going to miss him. So what are you going to do? It's going to be a lot more power running. It's going to be a lot more bruising. And like, I mean, we even seen it last year. Once they got to week 16, he had to sit down because he was banged up. I don't know if he'll last. So I think, scaling him back, I feel like with his amount of 200-yard games and that he tends to have in his whole career, where it seems to not be a fluke, that I feel like, he won't be great on a per game basis, but he still might finish in the top 12. In this case, what do I got him at? 6, 7, 8, 9. He might finish damn near, within the top 10. You know what I mean? So that's why I have him there. Now, my man Leonard Foreskin, right? So I always called him Leonard Foreskin because I thought it was funny. I always make up funny nicknames, but it was actually fitting because there was a rumor in this offseason that he was going to get cut, like Foreskin tends to get. You know what I'm saying? But he's still there. They said they're going to commit to him. I mean, the one thing I worry about Leonard Fournette is, it's Jay Gruden now, and Jay Gruden brought in Chris Thompson. And you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: is Leonard Fournette coming out of LSU? People don't believe, they didn't believe, like, he has passing chops, but bro, like, he has some hands. You know what I mean? And like, in hurry up situations, they're not going to be like, okay, Chris Thompson, get up in there. It's still going to be Fournette. You know what I mean? So I still think he'll be good for like 40 balls. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's being generous still. Like, you know what I mean? Because Chris Thompson, with his little ass, he's not going to last. And I think, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things, bro. Like, maybe I'm too big on it, but I don't want to spend too much elaborating on foreskin. You know what I mean? Then I got Aaron Jones. We already pretty much touched on him. The only reason I actually have him as high as I have him is because it is a Kyle Shanahan ripoff system. You know what I mean? Matt LaFleur is a Shanahan ripoff. You know what I mean? And whoever's that lead back, he's gonna eat a lot. You know what I mean? There will be a rotation, but he's gonna pile up receptions. Aaron Rodgers tends to be the guy who he'll be like, fuck whatever you're calling, Matt LaFleur. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Hey, if the play is breaking down, he's gonna look for his safety valve. That tends to be Aaron Jones. I mean, Aaron Jones is probably gonna be the second leading receptor. Oh, we're going with that. We're going with it. The second leading reception. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I kind of like it too.
We're rolling with that one.
We're rocking with that. You know what I'm saying? And then I close it up with Austin Powers. Bro, I had Austin Powers way higher, bro. Yo, did we lose him?
Well, my bad.
No, I thought I lost you for a second there. No, I had Austin Powers way higher, like 4 spots higher. I dropped him down because, man, I really kept looking at his numbers, man, and like he was one of the, in PPR, he was super at the top of the rankings as far as how he finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, he finished number 4. 92 receptions, 993 yards receiving, 8 receiving touchdowns.
But only 500 and some change touchdowns on the ground. Only 500 on the ground?
557, and he had 3 rushing touchdowns, which, by the way, those 3 rushing touchdowns that he had came within those 4 games that Melvin Gordon was out. So the rest of the year, he did not score not 1 rushing touchdown once Melvin Gordon came back. So this is a perfect setup because I actually got Eckler coming in 13. So
well, okay.
On
So
top of that,
check this out.
Go ahead.
So that offensive line, still on paper the same, right? I know they addressed it a little bit, but this I'm using this to make my case, right? So, old man Rivers, he's gone. One thing about Rivers is that he legit, side note, he legit would have been a gold medalist shot putter. Because I swear to God, that's how it looks when he throws the ball. You know what I'm saying? Right? But with that said, that line, so much pressure would be coming through that line. So Phillip Rivers religiously and was notoriously known for having one of the quickest releases in the game. Him and Tom Brady. You know what I mean? They always hovered around like 2.2 seconds and then they release. Somebody told me a funny joke. Yeah, of course Phillip Rivers has the quickest release. That's why he has 18 children. And I started dying, right? But like, here's the thing. Is like when pressure's coming, Rivers was never take off. He's gonna boom, 2-step drop back, pew, you know what I mean, and hit off Hunter Henry, pew, hit off Austin Eckler. Everybody in that short A-dot area. But now it's Tyrod Taylor. So this is why I dropped Austin Powers down. Because, with Tyrod Taylor, we know he's finna take off more than ever. Especially when you compare him to Rivers. And when he checks down, he's usually looking for that tight end. And historically, wherever he's been. Matter of fact, his time in Buffalo with Anthony Lynn, that's what he loved to do. A lot of Charles Clay. A lot of Clay. A lot of O'Leary. Was that his name? The other guy, Nick O'Leary.
Nick O'Leary, yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, I think this actually, with Tyrod there, it actually benefits Hunter Henry versus Austin Powers. But Austin Powers in the second round, if you're coupling him with like a Nick Chubb or Jacobs or even a Kamara, you're fucking super ecstatic. You know what I mean?
Wow, without a doubt, man. I mean, this dude's a PPR dog. But
yeah.
So, like we were saying, almost 1,000 receiving yards for a running back. That's top notch, man.
Everything's
You're
the same,
not gonna find it.
Everything is going to be the same as far as system wise. I mean, they finally did get rid of Kevin. They got rid of Ken Wisenhunt, and that kind of as soon as they got rid of Ken Wisenhunt, that's when they were trying to give Melvin Gordon more touches at the goal line and shit. But I also believe that it was like them trying to, shine up Melvin Gordon so they could try to trade him. You know what I mean? It was kind of, just like you remember that Broncos game against the Tennessee Titans. He had like 5 in a row attempts, and he's just getting stopped every time. Like, it was just retarded. You know what I mean? Like, or even the same way you said the mob boss, Freddie Kitchens, the mob hitman. Because tell me that doesn't sound like a mafia name, right? Freddie Kitchens. Remember, people don't forget Nick Chubb trying to have like several attempts at getting in the end zone. Remember that? And shit like that.
I remember. He was on my team. I remember
watching.
He was hot. Are you freaking kidding me? The same play over and over and over again. Like, what the fuck?
I had Nick Chubb in every one of my teams except for one last year. And I was living. I'm like, just get in there. Oh.
It was so frustrating to see because, like, he would do all this damage all the way down the field, and then Freddie Kitchens he one year, one and done. It was for a reason, bro. He was just straight garbage, no creativity.
Hey, I hella found a way to talk about Nick Chubb again, didn't I?
Yeah, hey, it's all good. Hey, I love Nick Chubb, so I ain't mad at that. You have him at number 5, so I'm not mad at that at all.
I'm crazy. So, but all right, listen. You are yin to my yang. I am madness. You are more stability and more nobility, I should say. So let's go ahead and hit me off with your next set.
Yeah, man. So Austin Eckler at 13, Chris Carson 14, Clyde Edwards-Helaire 15, Jonathan Taylor 16, Melvin Gordon 17, and Todd Gurley 18. So let's go with Eckler. You hit up all the points. And last thing I was going to touch with that is that Melvin Gordon is out of there. Yeah. 204 touches have opened up.
What about my man, the lost member of the Jackson 5, Justin Jackson?
I love Justin Jackson. The pride of Northwestern, by the way. Dude is a solid running back. And he was playing with some injuries last year. I'm not mad at him. I do like him. But somebody else to keep your people's eye, like a late round type of guy, is Joshua Kelly.
Yeah, man. There's a lot. His name keeps popping up because he's a local kid, too.
Exactly. Local kid, UCLA product. Great running back. He's coming into a possibility right here where roles opened up, 200-plus touches. Not only that, 15 goal line carries. Austin Eckler is not the goal line back there. He's got his role, like you said earlier.
Like, matter of fact,
he's got his role.
Man,
and he balls out. He balls out in that
yeah,
role. So
because we are
that ain't
talking
no big
PPR.
deal.
Because you know what? As much as hold on, let me get this ready. As much as we boo people that think Dalvin Cook ain't the truth, and as much as we boo people that aren't aware of Bears, Brews, and the Bros, we're gonna boo motherfuckers who goddamn don't play PPR. All right, reconsider your fantasy life. Goddamn it, and that's where Austin Eckler shines, because that's
Yes,
what we
sir.
talk. We talk.
Yes,
PPR.
sir. Austin Eckler, that PPR dog. Like, you take him in a second round. Don't worry about nothing with him. PPR monster.
Yeah.
All right. So we had Chris Carson next. I know Carlos Hyde just got signed to the team. A lot of people want to get off the Chris Carson train. Look, you guys relax. He got signed not to replace Chris Carson. He's there because of the injury with Rashad Penny, who will not be ready at the start of the year. He's going to start off the year on the PUP list, so he's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. And Carlos Hyde even came in and said, hey, I'm here. We all know who the starter is. It's Chris Carson. He's already coming in, and he knows his role on the team. He's already letting it be known. Pete Carroll, Seattle Seahawks never said, hey, the starting job is up for grabs. No. They've been adamant that Chris Carson is the guy in a contract year.
Hey, I want to beat this into everybody's head. Everybody, worry about Carlos Hyde. Not only is he the only man that's black named Carlos, besides Carlos Williams, remember him, right? But listen, I want to say this sarcastically because I want people to be worried about that. So Chris Carson can be a value pick again like he was last season because I love Chris Carson. Oh, I love him.
I was grabbing Chris Carson. I think in the end of the fourth and fifth round, bro. Yep. Big time. He came through for everybody. I know he had a letdown towards the end because of his injury, but we all know what he can do. All right.
And we all know what Schottenheimer likes to do. Just have one running back for real. Like
it's proven. It's proven.
Yes, he has a case of the fumbles, but like at the same time, that's coachable. It's not like accuracy with a quarterback. You know, that's something that they just have naturally. You know what I mean? Or something they really got to work on. But fumbling, it's like, yo, I hope everywhere Chris Carson's going right now, you know those little squeeze things that Bruce Lee used to always walk around having? Yeah, I hope Chris Carson's just walking around all day, just squeezing those little resistant band thingies that, you know what I'm talking about? Just all day. Come on, Chris Carson.
Secure that rock, bro.
Yeah,
he's legit top 10 type of guy. Easy, bro. If he could hold on to that rock.
You got to secure that. You got to secure that rock like a crack fiend. You know what I'm saying? Just let's go, Chris Carson.
All right. Moving on from Carson, we're going 15. We got the rookie Clyde Edwards-Helaire going with the Kansas City Chiefs offense. We already know Damian Williams is not that guy. That's why Andy Reid went and selected his guy, who is CEH. I believe he's going to ball out PPR style, kind of like that Miles Sanders type of role. But it's going to be from the beginning of the year. Damian Williams will probably be the starter. He's going to get that early down work. But Kansas City loves shootouts. They love to run up the score, and that's where Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to come in.
Exactly. And, bro, he also has one of my favorite nicknames, and I'm hella mad that I didn't coin this, but the Fresh Prince of Helaire, bro. Ooh. And you know what I'm saying? In this case, it ain't Uncle Phil. It's Uncle oh my God, Uncle Andy.
About Andy Reid?
Yeah, it's Uncle Andy. Instead of Uncle Phil, it's Uncle Andy. You know what I'm saying? Big Red. And you know what I'm saying? And, he tends to adopt these kids from inner cities. And he's like, matter of fact, he even asked his son, Patrick Starfish. He made the phone call and it was like, listen, son, who do you want us to bring in? And I can't really do a great Kermit the Frog impression, but I'm pretty sure it sounded like Kermit on the phone. He was like, go ahead and get goddamn Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You know what I'm saying? And bro, that says a lot. That does say a lot. The draft capital does mean they're going to use him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Speaking draft capital, let's go with the next rookie right here that I got. Yes, back-to-back rookies. Number 16, Jonathan Taylor running behind the Indianapolis Colts offensive line. Are you fucking kidding me?
Bro.
Like, I don't want to hear this Marlon Mack talk. I don't want to hear that shit. If Marlon Mack was that dude, he would have done it already behind that line. He is not reliable. He gets injured all the time.
We won't see a return of the Mac, is what you're telling me.
No, not at all. Jonathan Taylor is there to take off behind that line. Are you fucking kidding me? He's gonna fucking eat.
My man Jonathan Smokey J himself, he even said it. Like, if it was Jonathan Smokey J behind that line, I would make this argument. That's how great the line is. You know what I mean? And then you add in a guy who probably won't get as much much targets, because there is still my man, the ketchup bottle himself, Nyheim Hines. He's still there. But, I mean, behind that line, bro, even if he's only getting 12, maybe 13 carries a game, that's going to be enough, man, because now you got Phillip Rivers there, who will be able to drop back 5 and 7 step drop backs instead of that 2 and 3 step drop backs where he has to just fire it out like he does as the, you know, the immature ejaculator that he is. You know what I'm saying? This time he'll be able to, you know, survey the field, and like T.Y. Hilton still is a phenomenal receiver. It's they're you know, and then we'll see it early on. You know what I mean? We'll see it early on where now defenses are going to have to game plan, and they might not give the rookie as much respect initially. So I could even see, and maybe, and yes, Frank Reich is old school minded. He might give Marlon Mack, as long as he's healthy, the first crack at it. But I could see, and matter of fact, shout out to Hussein the Brain. You know, I just had him on, and he was like, I think Jonathan Taylor will get the starting job within the first 15 minutes of week 1. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
And one thing, too, with people afraid about the role that Jonathan Taylor is going to have, what's the worst case scenario here for him? I see him as a 2-down back, worst case. So we're talking about almost like that Nick Chubb type of role, where Kareem Hunt is going to come in, take over that 3rd down. He's going to spell him a little bit here and there. That's what's going to happen with like either Marlon Mack or a Nyheim Hines versus with Jonathan Taylor on that team. So I'm not afraid about it at all. Jonathan Taylor's going to take off this year. I really, really feel it. Number 17, I got Melvin Gordon. Over there with Denver, they paid him a 2-year contract. They did it for a reason. I think they want to pound that rock more. They want to play defense, then run that rock. Vic Fangio, old school style of coach. So that's what I see. That's what I envision over there. I am worried about Phillip Lindsay, though. Phillip Lindsay, that dude's a dog. He has that chip on his shoulder all the time. No one ever believes in him. The disrespect is real. And this guy, all he does is fucking prove all the haters wrong. That's what he does. So I am concerned with a Phillip Lindsay when it comes to Melvin Gordon, because, yeah, Melvin Gordon might be that red zone goal line type of guy, but Phillip Lindsay is the type of guy that Melvin Gordon could get a breather around a 20-yard line. Lindsay could get that handoff, and boom, he's gone. And there goes your fucking points. So that does concern me about Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Number 18, I got Todd Gurley. He's in the best offensive situation that he's ever been in. I really feel that because Matt Ryan and that air it out type of offense with buddy, what's his name? What's the offensive coordinator? Dirk Cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just gonna open everything up for Gurley.
Hey, real quick.
As far as scheme wise,
side note. Like, if you're a parent, how do you feel that's a good name? Like, you know, what do you want to name your son? We're gonna name him Dirk. Like, what the fuck kind of name is Dirk? Go ahead, continue. Yeah,
that's gotta be one of the worst names, Dirk. Yeah, Dirk. Look at my baby. Look at baby Dirk.
Look at baby Dirk.
Oh man. Hey, shout out Little Dirk, man. Chi-Town though.
Yeah, I was about to say it's better rapper name.
We're not talking about you, Little Dirk.
Yeah, because he's a hitter. He's a hitter. You know, that's a great rapper name. I was literally gonna say that, but.
So Gurley, best role he's probably ever been in, or best team. He comes into a nice role right here. But will he be able to hold up? There's a reason why the Rams let him go. They just signed him to a $60 million deal 2 years ago. And now they're willing to eat into their salary cap for the next 2 years, about I believe it's $7 to $9 million a year. Yeah. That's what they're going to take the next 2 years. Then they paid him, like, what was it? I don't know, $5 to $7 million on top of that. They still owe him, or they paid him. Why would you be willing to get rid of somebody that bad to the tune of $25+ million? Like, are you kidding me?
That's
a big red flag right there. to me. So be careful with the Todd Gurley. I mean, he's got no competition behind him, but there's red flags. So just be very cautious with him. But he is my number 18th running back. Go ahead with your guys, Woogie.
Okay, here we go, Smokey. All right, so I got my man, you know what I'm saying, heir to the KFC throne, Colonel Sanders, right? We got Miles Sanders. Then we go ahead with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know what I'm saying? Then I got my man Eyebrows himself, Caterpillar Eyebrows, Drake. You know what I'm saying? Then I got Carson City. And then I got Melvin Gordon and then DJ. And like you know, you already made the case for all these guys, so I really will just jump straight to DJ. Well, I will touch on Melvin a little bit. You know, Melvin Gordon, he definitely, Melvin Gordon definitely is someone I'm excited to have as like my second or third running back. If I'm going heavy running back, and Melvin Gordon is my third running back, I'm ecstatic because I love Pat Shurmur. We know what he likes to do with his running backs. I am a little worried about Lindsey there. And I am worried about Melvin Gordon's health because he's never played 16. Even last year, you know, that he was like, "Listen, I never played 16, so I'm gonna hold out." Even like, you know what I mean? He was just like, you know, it was just one of those things. But then here's the thing: Vic Fangio defense. You know what I'm saying? And then you couple that with Brandon McManus's big boot. Yes, I'm bringing in a kicker in this take, but like, you know, we're gonna see a lot of lower scoring games. You know what I mean? We're going to see a lot of more clock controlling type of game plan approach, and Melvin Gordon's going to shine. And you have a ton of weapons now. You know, Shurmur loves to run 12 personnel. You know, they got, you know, Noah Fant, but you know, just like Noah, you know, in the Bible, you know, Noah's Ark. You know, he had two of everything. So now you got two tight ends there to fit that 12 personnel. And then you got goddamn, you know, Justin Jefferson. They even got this other dude, AJ something. Is that I forget his name? Or is it Antonio something? I forget. They got another rookie receiver. And then you got my man Cortland. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be a.
You talking about KJ Hamler?
KJ Hamler. There you go. Hey, hold on 1 second. Mac Knees, you're live on the Real Fantasy Playmakers. What's happening?
What happened?
No, you're live on air. I just figured you called me twice. So I figured, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get a cameo appearance real quick.
What you got going? You on live?
I'm on live right now, my brother.
What's the episode today?
Okay. How about this? You a Raider. Let us know about Josh Jacobs.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Josh Jacobs, big dude. Okay, so
boo!
My take on the Josh Stallion. My take on the Josh Stallion.
You can't call him Josh Stallion. I already got one. I got it, Josh. That's Josh Allen.
Josh Stallion. We just gotta get the things rolling. I mean, you already see what numbers he's producing.
Hey, how much are you gonna be in Vegas this year? You're gonna be in Vegas all day, huh?
Wait, say that again?
You could be out there in Vegas all day, huh?
Yeah, now it's just I have to. Did you see the shit? Have y'all seen the stadium?
Okay. Here we go. Hey, my brother.
It's gonna be nice. Hey, I'm telling you, it's gonna be nice. You can't do nothing but.
Well, you will be happy. I got him ranked within the top 10. I got Josh Jacobs ranked within the top 10, so you'll be happy about that for sure.
Oh yeah. Because you're a smart man. You know that he's still young. He's still wet behind the ears. You know, he's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure, my brother. Well, shit, I'll hit you. I'll hit you soon as I sew up.
All right, for sure.
All right, peace. Nah, I just had to see what's up with my man's because he was calling me back to back. I thought it might have been like an emergency or something. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I heard his tone of voice. I was like, oh, he just hit me. You know what I mean? You know, that's one of my best friends in the world. Shout out to Mac Knees. You know what I'm saying? You know, Godfather to my kids. Man, I love that guy. Okay, so now, before I was rudely interrupted by a Raider, mind you, you know what I'm saying? You know, us Raiders and Niners, we don't like each other when it comes to this shit. So, you know what I mean? But anyways, oh yeah. So back to Melvin Gordon. You know what I mean? I love Melvin Gordon because you know, Pat Shurmur's gonna draw up a lot of passing plays for his running backs. Hopefully, Lindsey doesn't eat into it too much because Lindsey is a great pass catcher. Well, maybe not that great, actually. If you look at Lindsey's targets versus his actual receptions, it's not that great.
That's true.
Yeah, but okay, so we'll move on. So DJ, I have DJ up there because I happen to believe, hopefully Bill O'Brien, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully Bob actually will use him in every facet. Because, you know what I'm saying, he's arguably going to be the second leading receptor, right? We're going with that, right? The receptor.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, because you got concussion cooks, as you like to call them. You got Will Fuller just always just hamstringed up. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Randall Cobb with the shorter A dot. I feel like if they're smart, they're gonna move DJ around, and someone like Carlos Hyde. The only black Carlos in the world, basically. You know what I'm saying? He had 1,000 yards finally in his career, with the Texans. Granted, Nuke Skywalker was there to take the top off. But still, with all that speed, with concussion cooks and hamstring Fuller, with all that speed to take the top off, even Kenny Stills, man, he's a burner too.
Yeah. I was just about to say.
Yeah, you have all this speed, because they're trying to do their best Kansas City Chiefs impression with all the speed on the field. You know what I mean? I mean, we are in a copycat league. I'm pretty sure everyone's trying to do that. But now you couple that with the fact that Watson has wheels as well. So DJ is kind of the same argument for goddamn Kenyon Drake. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at DJ there. I hate that he's creeping up into that third round, but bro, you know what I mean? I think
he is moving up.
Yeah, and I don't like that. But still, I still think he has a fairly high ceiling to finish within the top 20 in this case. You know what I mean? But go ahead, man. Let's move on.
For sure.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah, let's move on. We're going with 19 through 24. Devin Singletary at 19. I got David Johnson 20. Leonard Fournette all the way at 21. David Montgomery, bear down baby at 22. Whoa. James Conner 23. And Le'Veon Bell, I got him at 24.
I love that you crept up Bell up in there, B.
Yeah, I had to put him in there. I mean, last year a lot of people were hating on me.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people were hating on me because I didn't have him in my top 12.
Because you were smart. He was coming from the Pittsburgh Steelers line where he averaged 3-point-something yards before contact, and then he was going to a line with the Jets where they before Bell got there, they averaged 1.8 yards before contact. And it was so when he wouldn't even get time to do his little dance moves that he likes to do. You know what I'm saying? His little
straight up.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. I mean, all right. So check it out. Where were we at? Le'Veon Bell?
We're at the last 6 in this 24.
All right. So yeah, but I mean, with Le'Veon Bell, one of the reasons why I had him out the top 12 was because of the whole Adam Gase effect. We know what happens in Miami. He held everybody back. He's going to continue to do that with New York. So let's go with Singletary 19. I love him. I love him over there. I know Zach Moss got drafted. I know Zach Moss is going to be that red zone threat. He's going to take all of those red zone carries, him and Josh Allen. But guess what? It doesn't matter because Devin Singletary, he's still going to have his same role that he had before, that early down type of role. Once Frank Gore finally got phased out, Singletary, he was able to showcase his skill set, which was to the tune of 5.1 yards per carry. The guy gets the job done, can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. So those short line, goal line situations, yes, they're going to go to Zach Moss, and Josh Allen's going to take away those touchdowns. But Singletary wasn't a touchdown guy to begin with anyway, so I'm not worried about that. I love Singletary. David Johnson, you hit on a lot of good points. I feel like Bill O'Brien's got to make, he's got to make that trade count. So
is Bill O'Brien the only stupid fucking idiot, right? But still manages to get his team in the dance religiously?
Something about it. At the end of the day, he gets his team to play. But he does a lot of weird shit. Obviously,
whether it's a Lamar Miller or a goddamn Carlos Hyde, and I think out of those two guys, DJ is better than them. You know what I mean?
Hopefully, if he stays healthy, man, I think he's gonna have a really, really good year if he can stay healthy. So we'll see what's up.
He did look like he was running through mud sometimes. It was yo, is this guy
He didn't have that burst. I don't know what it was. He didn't have a burst at all. So 21, I got Leonard Fournette, and I'm really, really off him. I see him as a mid to low end running back too.
I would be just as happy to have him as my third running back as I would Melvin Gordon. But yes, continue.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, Leonard Fournette, for where he's going early third. I'm not too mad at it. He's about like the 15th running back coming off the board. So
I would love Aaron Jones over him though, all day. But
yeah, for sure. I'm taking Aaron Jones. I'm obviously I got him 21st. I'm taking a lot of people over this guy.
But I definitely I put Leonard Fournette over Aaron Jones because I still feel like that A.J. Dillon thing might be a real thing as far as touchdowns. And I will say, I believe in positive regression. Leonard Fournette, he might have more touchdowns this year. You know what I mean?
Leonard Fournette, he should have. He only had 3 rushing touchdowns last year. So but to me, like I spin it around, and I'm like, how the hell does a bell cow workhorse get only 3 touchdowns on 341 carries or touches?
They did have a lot of injuries on that line.
That's bad though. Like you talk about horrible efficiency, 341 touches and 3 touchdowns. Like,
and they kind of hate him over there too, huh? They hate his ass.
They don't like him. I don't like him, obviously. But I'm going to fade him this year. I would just give you guys a quick example. Versus Tennessee last year, he had one long run of 69 yards. He finished that game with 66 yards on 15 attempts. Dude's fucking garbage. Don't fucking draft this guy. Leonard Fournette is not my type of guy. Plus, he got 100 targets last year. He's not going to get that again. Chris Thompson is there. Like you said, 40? You said 40 targets or 40 catches?
He said, no, he got, who was it?
No, earlier you said that you saw him getting 40. Was it 40 touches or 40 catches?
Oh, yeah, no, I could see him.
Receptions.
I could see. I think he has a ceiling of like catching 40 receptions. You know what I'm saying? Because those targets are going to come down significantly. You know what I mean?
That means he'll be losing out on 36 catches.
Yeah.
And according to his averages, probably around 250 yards or so.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points just right there. But I understand the touchdown. You know, like you said, he's gonna the positive regression, right? So I could see that too. But I'm a big fade on Fournette. Let's go with Monty. Excellent,
yeah.
David. I'm gonna take that from you.
No, it's all good, man. We share these things. We share.
And coming in at 22, like the Bears have a lot of fucking questions to answer this year. A lot of asses are on the fucking line.
To go back to what you said about Fournette from last year, I mean, who was there? John DeFilippo. You know what I'm saying? And now he's over there in the building. He's in the building now. You know what I'm saying? They're all products of Andy Reid. You know what I mean? Whether it's Nagy or John DeFilippo. And yes, Tariq Cohen is there. But, bro, I see Monty, you know what I'm saying? Like, I call Monty Burns. He might have burned a lot of people as far as, people grabbing him too high. But, God damn it, he's going to catch a lot of balls, bro. I just don't see any way around it.
And on top of that, we saw the flashes. When he actually got some sort of running lane, he burst through it. He was breaking tackles. I think he's going to have a pretty good year. Where he's going right now, he's definitely at a great value. So I fuck with David Montgomery this year. 23, James Conner. You guys saw the picture. You saw that back. Dude looked like Hunchback of Notre Dame for a freaking second. I thought that's what I was looking at. But he should ball out. He should ball out. He's another contract year type of thing. He has to, right? He's trying to get paid. I know I would do everything I can. So James Conner coming in at 23, and then 24, Ring Ding Dong, Le'Veon Bell. He's gonna finish it up. He's gonna have a solid year, volume alone, even despite Adam Gase weak ass bum ass coach.
What did he finish last year? Like he still finished as an RB1, right? Like
Le'Veon finished 16. He was a running back.
Okay, so he was a high-end RB2.
But he had 300. He had 311 touches combined, receiving and
wow.
You take that on volume alone, on a crap offense with a crap coach. He was able to be a high running back too. And I know he didn't have a lot of games that wowed you, but still, at the end of the day, like I'm gonna steal my brother Fantasy Sweetness line. The proof is in the pudding.
Shout out to Fantasy Sweetness.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Bros, Fantasy Renegade, and Doc PLC too, man.
Yeah, and if you, like I said, if you ain't aware of the goddamn Bears, Brews, and the Bros, fuck your life. If you ain't aware of them, and they are available on all streaming platforms, Playmakers. We gonna have to
Yes,
Jamaican
sir.
horns in. Hey, yeah.
Duh, bros.
Duh, bros. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay. So now let me hit you off one time. Okay. So now here comes the madness. Where was that? All right, I had DJ closing up my last set. Okay. So
Yep.
now I open up this set with my man Monty Burns, who actually plays for a theme. The Bears.
Yeah.
And bro, I mean, we already, you know what I need to work on, Smokey? I'd be so excited. I just be like throwing my takes in like during my guest takes, and I think I need to work on that. I just get so excited. Maybe it's because I'd be over here turned up to the max. But we
Nah, man, love that energy, man. That's why we love coming on this show, bro, because it's a lot of energy, man.
Man,
For
I
real.
appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But so we already touched on my man Monty. You know what I'm saying? Monty, we love him in those mid rounds. I almost want to be quiet about him because I don't want anybody pushing him up. You know what I mean? Because we can
Hell
have
yeah.
him there. You know what I mean? Then I got Todd Gurley there. You already made a lot of valid points about TG. You know what I'm saying? And like, the only reason I even have him there is because I feel like his touchdowns are going to be up there. You know what I mean? Like, because
That's true.
It is an offense that it is an offense that's going to be able to move the ball. Granted, their pass volume versus run ratio is kind of lopsided, but I mean Todd Gurley can catch the ball too, so that's why I have Todd Gurley there. Now here's where I get funky. I go three.
I like this.
I go 3 rookies in a row. I go Keyshawn Vaughn, I go Taylor Swift, and then I go Jonathan Taylor. Yes, I don't, not to get confused with the Taylor Swift, the singer, but that's the best nickname I can think of for Swift right now, right? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna start. Matter of fact, Jonathan Taylor, I like to call him, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen him star in Home Improvement. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him. He also is the voice of Simba in The Lion King. So you know what I mean. And now he's trying to make his presence felt in the NFL, right? But so now to start off with Keyshawn Vaughn, bro. Keyshawn Vaughn, talent-wise, he kind of reminds me of Frank Gore. And hear me out, Frank Gore, because Frank Gore wasn't the best at one thing at all. He was just kind of good at everything, whether it was running between the tackles or running around the edge, or catching the ball or pass protecting. So he's just an all-around player. You know what I mean? He's an all-around running back. And Uncle Bruce, he loves that. Uncle Bruce loves this. You know what I'm saying? That's why they picked him up. And then you go ahead with all the guys that are going to take the top off. You got Mike Evans. You got Bruce Arians coming out saying they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel.
12.
Yeah, right? So you're going to have O.J. Howard. Whether it's O.J. Howard or Make America Great Again, or goddamn Gronk. So either way, they're going to be, if there is any validity to what Bruce Arians said, they're going to be able to continuously run 12 personnel. And then on the other side, you're going to have my man Chris Godwin, who has God and win in his name, right? But
You can't go wrong with him.
yeah, and you add all those guys up. And then you couple that with Tom Brady, who's going to be able to sustain drives, going to be able to own time of possession. And how do you own time of possession? On the ground. And you know what I'm saying? And then they're going to be able to move the ball. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be able to. He's going to get a lot of 10 zone carries. And you know Tom Brady, he will yell at a motherfucker if you can't pass protect. Rojo, step aside, because you know you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Right? And Keyshawn Vaughn, you know what I'm saying? It's more, I do like his talent. I don't want to say love it. I like his talent, but I love his situation. And remember, this defense, this Todd Bowles led defense, anywhere Todd Bowles is at, they're very active with their front. They're very good at stopping the run anywhere he's been. And in this case, they were the number 1 run defense. They had a bad secondary statistically, and maybe their personnel ain't the greatest. Right? I mean, what do you mean, Carlton Davis? Like, that's like their best cornerback? No, fuck him, right? But still.
Garbage.
Yeah, garbage. But at the end of the day, I will say that famous Jameis, or as I like to call him, infamous Winston, he put them in a lot of bad situations, throwing 30 picks. So whether, it was almost better that he threw a pick six for real, because then when they didn't throw a pick six, he was moving that opposing offense into the goddamn red zone. And so that secondary gave up a lot of production because of that quarterback that used to be under center. So now you got Tom Brady. I just, when I do the fantasy math, it makes me love Keyshawn Vaughn. And I'm not saying he's David Johnson, but I will say that anywhere Bruce Arians goes, he tries to find his guy that reminds him of his guy from wherever he was before. You know what I mean? Mind you, these are all intangible takes, and especially with that last thing I just said. But, bro, give me Keyshawn Vaughn. I feel like he'll finish in the top 24. You know what I mean? And now the move on.
I'm not mad at that at all. I love the fact that you brought it up. Maybe he's not the best player, like talent wise, but that fit in that scheme, that offense, he provides a value right now. Don't sleep on a Keyshawn Vaughn, man. Bogey's on it with this guy for sure.
And like 6th, 7th round, like that's like I feel like first of all, as an analyst, quote unquote, I hate saying I think or I feel like. I try to stray away from that as much as possible, because I'd rather have supporting evidence than say I feel like or I think, you know what I mean? But in this case, I feel like when people the greater public sees Keyshawn Vaughn with the team ones in camp, he'll get pushed up to the 5th round, and I'll still be willing to have him there, because by that point he'll either be my 3rd or 4th running back. More than likely my 3rd. You know what I'm saying? But goddamn, give me some Keyshawn Vaughn. And then real quick to move on to Taylor Swift in this case, or DeAndre Swift. You know what I mean? I just love Derek Bevel. Derek Bevel loves to use one running back. We know Kerryon Johnson's history. You know what I'm saying? Of being injured. We might see a timeshare. Obviously, we'll see a timeshare initially, but he will be phased out. You know what I mean? And DeAndre Swift is a way better pass catcher than anyone ever thought that Kerryon Johnson could be.
Carry on.
Yeah, and you know what? Pun intended. You just might need a carry on.
Yes, sir.
Kerryon Johnson. And now
time's up, man.
And to close this thing up, yeah, I do have Jonathan Taylor here. You made all the valid points already earlier. I am actually jealous that you had the balls to put him up higher than I could. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I argued between, Le'Veon Bell, Singletary, and Taylor to close up my 24, but I had to go with Taylor because of that line and my lack of belief in Marlon Mack. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think these are two solid fucking lists if you look at it. I mean, there are some big discrepancies, like the Drake versus the Drake. I got him at 6. You got him at 15.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette.
Lenny, 10 versus 21. There are some big ones that pop out, but a lot of them are in the ballpark.
I will say one more thing. I will say one more thing about Leonard, because a lot of his line was injured last year too. So because they have a lot of first rounders on that line, and first and second rounders. You know what I'm saying? And if they come back healthy, and you know what I'm saying, like, the one thing I do worry about though, which makes your case better than mine when it comes to Lenny, is that Jay Gruden, he's just going to love to chuck that rock. I mean, can we think of a running back that really flourished in a Jay Gruden system? So that's the one thing that will trump anything I say about Fournette. Or as I like to call him, foreskin.
Motherfucking foreskin. But you know what? Like, his touchdown should go up. He's going to get the touches. So, and the thing about him, where he's going early 3rd, 15th running back off the board, I'm not going to argue with somebody that much if you want to take him there at all.
Yeah. Okay, well, check this out. I'm going to go, before we move on to the receivers, we want to remind you guys to be sure to check out Bears, Brews, and the Bros on all streaming platforms. And we're going to take a really, really quick intermission. I'm just going to go ahead and play a track. I'm going to go take a piss real quick, because I've been drinking like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be back in like 30